everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today was round 4 of the Olympiad here in Hungary, and we faced Team USA. USA is very strong, and their team members are very, very young. Well, not that young, but at least my opponent was, because I faced the one and only Alice Lee. She is an international master, and she is only 15 years old. She is a huge talent in the USA, and she has had already major achievements. She did super well in the Pro Chess League, and ever since I noticed her in the Pro Chess League, I started to look up to her, and I was cheering for her, rooting for her, and now she's my opponent. So it was really awesome to face her. Now, of course, this is classical, so it's a little bit different. It seems like that she's really strong and faster time controls. So I was excited to face her, and let's see what happened in the game. So I was playing with the white pieces, and I started with the move e4. So I was ready to play this, and here she has several openings that she plays, and I was ready to face all of it. She played move c5, so I thought, okay, knight f3, knight c6, and here I played the Rossolimo with bishop to b5. Now, most of the times, or at least in all of the games that I saw, she plays g6. So I was really well prepared against g6, but then she played move e6. And just before I left to the playing hall, I do remember looking at this really quickly. For some reason, I thought, what if she plays e6? And I checked this real quick, and I thought, okay, I'll be fine. And I closed it. And then I saw it on the board. I was facing it right there, and I thought, well, I had this vision that I was predicting the opening already, but I didn't really look into it properly. Didn't have much time, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, maybe I should have, looked into this more, but there's only so much you can look into before the game, right? We also have very limited time in preparation, so yeah, anyway, I knew that I had to take on c6, bishop takes c6, b takes c6, and here I went for short castle. Now, apparently that's not the move that I'm supposed to play. At least, well, it's fine, but what I checked was the move b3 here. There's also d3 possible, but I checked b3 here specifically. But I couldn't quite remember. For some reason, checking this, it completely disappeared from my brain. All the other lines that I prepared were really set in my brain. I was really well prepared, but for some reason this line just disappeared. I don't know. But anyway, I think short castle is still fine. But after knight e7, here I played b3, knight g6, and here I started slowly to feel a little bit uncomfortable, because it's clear that my opponent wants to play the move e5. Now, okay, I played bishop b2, but here she played move f6, and here I spent a lot of time because I don't really know what to do. I know that e5 is coming, and that looks really bad for me, because if she gets to play e5, my bishop is permanently bad. And yes, I have knights, which is really good in a closed position, but this bishop is coming back to life, and I feel like she has a lot of ideas here, and I don't. So because of that, after a very long thought, I decided to play e5, which is the best move. So time well spent in a way. But the problem is that I really didn't like playing this move. The reason why I play this is because I have to stop e5, I'm ahead in development, and I have to do something. I cannot just sit and wait for my opponent to push towards me. But at the same time, what concerned me here is that, okay, I play e5, but where is my center? What am I going to do in the next few moves? Because this pawn is definitely going to be traded off. Either I have to take on f6, or my opponent will take on e5. And where is my center? It's completely gone, because this pawn on d2 is basically useless. So she plays bishop e7, I play rook e1, short castle, d3. I cannot play the move knight to c3 because lots of issues going on here. My pawn on e5 is really weak. I was calculating lines such as knight takes, pawn takes, and let's say rook takes, and I'm somehow always getting in some sort of trouble with bishop f6, and this knight is pinned on c3. It's very unpleasant to play this, and this bishop will come back to life very soon. It's really sad position for me. So I really didn't like these kind of positions. That's why I went for the move d3 here, I mean. Not knight c3. Queen e8 was played. I was a bit surprised by this, but she had something in mind here. After knight bd2, she took on f takes e5, knight takes e5, and here d6. So this was her idea, that she forces the capture, and now I have to move the knight somewhere. And she's defending this pawn on c6 with the queen and the knight on g6. So now the question is, what do I do with my knight? And here it was another moment that I spent a lot of time, because I don't really know what's best for me, because I want to take on g6, but by doing that, I allow my opponent to play queen takes g6, and I'm helping my opponent to become more active. And once again, where is my plan? I don't really have a plan. I mean, I can develop with like rook e3 and something. I can also play f3 to stop any sort of attack, but it just looks so awkward. It feels like I have no space. It feels like I have no space because my pawns are very much behind, and it's just a really difficult position for me to play, because this bishop is really well placed, but I'm not really doing anything on this diagonal. And if anything, if I ever end up doing anything, bishop f6 and it's over, or maybe even e5. So yeah, that's when I decided to play knight e4. Apparently taking on g6 was much better, but I feel like practically it's very uncomfortable to play that. And yeah, I just decided to keep the knight on the board. After knight e4, I was hoping to get some knight e4 in with some tactics there, but yeah, it's just really difficult. I felt like I need my knight, and I need to make it a bit more difficult for my opponent to develop the pieces. So here she went for e5, which makes a lot of sense, knight to e4. So here, of course, d5 is not a move, because now I have knight c d6, and her queen is under attack, so she has to basically take back or move the queen, but let's say takes, and then I will be able to capture the bishop next, and I'm in a completely fine position. But of course, she's not going to do that. She played move knight h4, really strong move. And I saw this move coming. Well, not this one specifically. I was thinking of knight f4, actually. But knight h4 has the same idea, because she is going for that pawn on g2. She is preparing queen g6, which is why this pawn on d6 is not hanging. I cannot capture this, because queen g6 is just threatening way too much. It's, defending that d6 square and attacking on g2, threatening checkmate. So that's a little bit too much. So that's why I decided to go for knight g3, queen f7, attacking on f2, so I have to defend with queen a2, and here bishop to g4. I expected this move. She is attacking my queen. I cannot capture, because then queen takes f2 and checkmate on the next move. So that's why I have to play f3. And what really surprised me when quickly checking this game afterwards is that there is bishop takes f3. I thought this was not good at all, because g takes f3, knight takes f3, king g2, and here I have two pieces for the rook, but my opponent does have quick count 2 pawns. So I guess that's why this is better for black, but I guess why would you do this if you have long-term advantage, right? Why would you simplify things and try to give me any sort of chances, right? So I guess, maybe computer likes this a lot, but for human beings, it makes no sense to do this, unless there's like a clear checkmate or a clear material advantage, but this is not so clear. So that's why she went back with bishop e6, and here I was really hopeful that, maybe there's a chance that I'm coming back, because she has to retreat, and yeah, I felt like I still had a decent position, not the best, of course, definitely not great, but, maybe there's some chance, maybe I was hoping for some b4 and then d4, because this pawn on e5 is pinned, right? So if I can make use of that, then maybe I can start something on this file here. But a quick knight takes e5, for example, d takes e5, queen takes e5 is not working, of course, because of bishop f6. So that's why my bishop on b2 is hanging. That's why this tactic doesn't work. So that's why I decided to retreat with knight to d2. And she went back with knight g6, because she is heading to f4 now with the knight. So really strong idea. I play queen e4 because I have to do something. I cannot just sit and wait for my opponent, right? So I'm trying to do something. She comes in with bishop to g5. And I was like, oh, that's pretty rough. I went back with knight d1, knight f4, and here knight e3, and I'm just trying to hold it together because she's already threatening major threats. She's threatening moves such as knight takes g2, followed by bishop to d5, so that's why if I would have captured on c6, it looks like a free pawn, but I think that after knight takes g2 it's just completely lost. King takes g2, bishop to d5, and queen takes f3 is next, followed by checkmate. So yeah, it hurts so much when you see all of your opponent's threats and ideas, and you know that you're worse, but you don't know what to do about it. It's like I always get in these situations myself, and if we like flip the board, I know what to do, but I never know what to do for myself. So anyway, I played knight to e3, and she went for bishop to d5. So here I was down to 12 minutes, and she was playing so fast, by the way. She was on 38 minutes in this position, and I'm just struggling to find the right moves, honestly. Like, I'm trying to survive. I feel like I'm hanging on a thread here, but yeah, here the question is, do I play queen a4, queen f5, or knight takes d5? And in the end, I went for queen f5. By the way, let me quickly check the microphone. Okay, microphone seems fine. I just want to check before I'm recording a recap that doesn't have good audio. All right, let's continue. So queen f5, and yeah, I was hoping that my queen will survive. I'm very consciously aware that my queen is about to get trapped, but I thought if I don't try something, I'm just gonna lose anyway, because like how is it possible to survive with queen a4? Now tell me, I'm just abandoning my entire king side. There is absolutely no way that I'm surviving this. Like, this is just disaster. Also, I guess there's already knight takes g2 incoming, and that's just lost on the spot, right? So that's why I thought queen f5. Let's just hope and pray and see what's gonna happen. Queen e7, queen to g4. So I'm trying to survive by putting a knight on f5 and play h4, etc. So bishop e6, knight ef5, and here she played a very strong move, queen to d8. Apparently it was possible to take first as well and then play queen d8, but I guess the point is that the queen moves to d8, and there's no way for me to attack anything here, because of course I'm attacking the queen now, right? So it has to move, and the queen is defending the bishop. So if you play the move queen f6, then you run into tactical issues, because, well, not really issues, but it gives me the chance to come back, because after knight e4, my opponent can capture the knight on f5, but then I capture the bishop on g5, and I'm fine. It's basically a trade. So that's why queen to d8, she found this move. It makes a lot of sense when you spot queen f6, knight e4, right? So you don't really have many other options. h4, have to do something once again, bishop to f6, and here I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't really have a good move, so I just play h5, and I see that g6 isn't coming, right? So I hope that, you know, with h5 I can at least try to prevent it for somehow. I don't know. King h8, of course, she's stepping out of this file, of course, where my queen is. And now bishop c1, I just want to get rid of that knight, but I am fully consciously aware that there's a bishop on this diagonal pointing towards my rook. I just don't know what else to do. I don't know. It's just a really sad position. Queen to d7 she played, and I'm already aware that I'm just going to lose a piece. Like, I don't have anything to hold on to anymore. Rook b1, knight to d5, f4. I'm just making some moves, because after bishop takes f4, she took my bishop, queen takes f4, and now she's just capturing everything, because after knight takes f5, bishop d4 check. And this is actually the moment I resigned, because she's going to capture the knight on the very next move. I'm in check, so I have to fix the check first. I have to sort that out. My knight is pinned on f5, so I cannot capture. My queen would be lost. So that's why I thought, yeah, it's time to resign. She is over 30 minutes on her clock. I'm down to 30 seconds. I thought it's nice to call it a day. And she just obliterated me. She is so good, so talented. And yeah, I feel like I was my biggest enemy as usual. But of course, she played really well. And I do feel like I made it easier for her to play. But at the same time, it's really hard to say where things went wrong. I guess I'm not really used to this opening. I haven't really had much practice, and I didn't look into the line properly today. I wasn't able to. So yeah, I guess it's just unfortunate and just something that I have to get used to. And if I want to get better, I have to get used to these type of positions. And I just felt like it was so unnatural for me. Remember this moment where I played e5? I mean, it felt so strange to play e5. I thought out of all moves, that's the move that I have to do. It felt so unnatural. It feels so strange. So this is definitely something that I need to get used to. I need to study and everything. So um, yeah, I'm really excited to learn from this, and it was an absolute honor to play Alice Lee. I mean, um, I'm expecting her to become much stronger than she is already, but it was a big honor to play her. And yeah, sadly, it seems like we're going down today. I think we already lost the match. We already had one game going still when I left, but yeah, it's a tough day for us. But we come back stronger in the next one. We learn from these kind of games too, and yeah, it is what it is. It happens, and it's a good learning lesson. It's a good learning lesson. All right, guys, I'm gonna get some rest. Gonna get some food, and yeah, you can maybe hear my voice is not 100%. I was coughing a lot during the game, but I feel much better generally. Like I'm struggling a little bit, but it's fine. I'm doing fine. So we keep up the spirit. I'm excited for my next game. Let's hope that I'm playing tomorrow. Let's see. But for now, thanks for watching, guys. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.